Hello everybody and good evening. It's a nice day today, a Saturday, July 28th, almost towards the end of the month, and within a couple of days it will be August, and it's supposed to be the last month of winter for New Zealand. Spring is officially starting September 1st. But according to the weather, it says that we will be expecting some really cold snaps in August and maybe even towards spring. Last year, I recall, I saw snow here in Wellington. I've seen snow before, but it doesn't really snow here in Wellington. The weather is cold and freezing and quite chilly, but it really never snows. Just the occasional hail, but last year it did snow. So I was thinking, because of the weather changes, the global warming, weather patterns and everything, I really think it's going to snow again this year. For tonight, I will talk about some current events, and then the Tarot Weekly Focus, the free readings, and the weekly affirmation from July 29th to the first week of August. With the current events, there were a lot of really good developments here in New Zealand and also elsewhere around the world. For instance, a few days ago, the marriage bill was drawn from the ballot, which means that it will be deliberated and debated over Parliament, and I hope it will pass. The marriage bill is about marriage equality for gay couples. For the LGBT community, it would be fantastic. Actually, here in New Zealand, we're quite lucky. We're quite lucky in a way because we have the Relationships Act and the Civil Union Act, which means that even in the absence of marriage, couples living together, like in a domestic partnership, that's what you call it in the US. Here we call it a de facto relationship. There is a certain criteria. If you've been together for 2 years and you are really in a very stable relationship, then they have similar privileges just like in marriage, but the only thing that's lacking is they cannot adopt kids. So that is a huge issue, because a lot of couples, because they share their love, of course they would like to bring up children. There are a lot of same-sex couples who are really quite loving parents. Even though they don't have their own children at the moment, you see their affection for kids with their friends' children, with their family members' children. This bill, the marriage equality bill, is just timely. Even though we say not all of them would like the approval of society or the government, it is just a matter of preference, If you get to have the option that society, government, and everybody else approves of your relationship, or not approve, but just blesses your relationship, then for some people that is very important, and for some people that is what makes them equal. There is no discrimination. So I'm all for this bill, and I really hope that it passes. Of course, it will take a lot of debates there, and it will take a lot of movements with the LGBT group, and even if you're not a part of the LGBT group, but if you do support this, if you have members of your family that would benefit from this, go out there and be part of the awareness campaign, be part of the support group so that this bill would be passed. And we are just really so lucky. This is such a huge milestone for New Zealand. It also shows the openness and the changing mindset of the people, and gearing towards equality, no discrimination at all. Another is, yesterday the International New Zealand Film Festival started, and it's really good. I got to see the list of foreign films that are being shown. In fact, I went to one with my son yesterday, and the title of the movie was Keep the Lights On. This movie, if you profoundly think about it, it shows you aspects of gay relationships, the pitfalls, the good things, the support of the friends, the challenges that you might face. But if you are sort of like really mainstream and not into those things, then this movie is not for you. But if you would like to understand more, this movie can show you a lot of things. In the beginning I said, oh no, it's just full of sex. But if you give the movie a chance, it develops into a very strong storyline, and towards the end you really get hooked into it and you really feel for the characters of the movie. In fact, this movie, Keep the Lights On, won a Teddy Award, so that might be something that you want to check out. Unfortunately, I think they just have one showing. Oh no, I think they have one more showing tomorrow. So for those of you here in Wellington, if you have that magazine wherein you have all the schedules, check it out because there's one more showing tomorrow. I think it's towards the afternoon. Okay, and worldwide, just as the same time as the New Zealand International Film Festival, the Olympics also started, and that's one great arena. And every time the Olympics come, there are beautiful and inspiring stories of athletes, their challenges and their successes. I have read that there's this Korean archer. Apparently he's legally blind. His name is Im Dong-hyun, but he won the gold. It's such a beautiful story, and some people say that his being legally blind, just seeing colors and circles, is actually an asset because he gets to focus on the figures. He doesn't get distracted with his clarity of vision. He just focuses on the shapes and the colors, and that helps him achieve. But whatever the reason, congratulations. I admire you. I'm sure a lot of people admire you. So that's one story of Im Dong-hyun, the gold medalist for the archery. And also another great story is sort of like great upset. Japan beating the favorite Spain in football, Group D. I like these stories, you know, underdogs, but they come from behind, they come from nowhere and excel. It's really inspiring, so I'm sure we will have more of these fantastic stories. We would also be given a glimpse of how they trained, I'm sure, and what kind of support or lack of support they have. But in spite of everything, they went on to qualify for the Olympics, and they are representing their countries. Kudos to all who have already won, and good luck, and may we have a great time in London. And now I'm going to flash the contact details wherein you can send in your question, and we will go to our weekly tarot focus, and then after that we would go to the free reading. Okay, I'm back, and we're going on to our weekly tarot focus, which starts tomorrow, Sunday, July 29, up to August 4, which is a Saturday. So I'll just shuffle the cards and let's see the energies that will be influencing us this coming week. For Sunday, we have here the Queen of Cups. The energies tomorrow would be a very loving, affectionate, and feminine energy. It would be a great time for us to share our love and affection with family, but it is also about getting in touch with ourselves as a source of affection or emotional support for the people around us. The Queen of Cups is a very loving and sensitive person. She would always be there for the people that she loves, friends and family. But sometimes to a fault, she also forgets herself because she's just so focused on giving what she can to help others. But the Queen of Cups, with that kind of energy, if you're having some problems with family, some misunderstandings, then tomorrow is a great time to try to talk things out and sort the issues. If you do it in a loving way, the energy of the Queen of Cups will surely bless your effort. You might also be trying to see the other person's perspective, as I said, because the Queen of Cups always looks out for other people. Then you have to try to look at it in their own perspective, not yours. Try to see it in their shoes, and for that you might have a better understanding of what had happened, and trying to talk in a caring and loving manner, and being also sensitive to the other party. Then I'm very sure that tomorrow is a great day for ironing out issues between loved ones and friends. On Monday, we have the Ace of Swords. Did we have the Ace of Swords in the recent weeks? I'm not quite sure, but anyway, the Ace of Swords is about decisions and clarity. It is asking you to be very logical and precise in your decision. It means that Some decision would even require you to cut and cut clean. Whatever the issues may be, it could be projects, work, or anything. But you need to have a very clear thought process here. You cannot be influenced by emotions or what you hear from others. You have to be influenced by what you think is right. Logic plays an important part on Monday. The energies will help you to weigh what you need to do and arrive at the best decision that you can. The Ace of Swords has no room for doubts or gray areas. The Ace of Swords is very black and white. Unless you're confident to see things in black and white, then that's the time to proceed. When you do not feel the energy of the Ace of Swords, try to close your eyes, breathe deeply, separate your emotions to the things that you need to accomplish, to the decisions that you need to make. Stay in a quiet phase for a while, and after that, once you have detached yourself, then go back to see if you're ready to making the right decision. On Tuesday, we have here the Eight of Swords. Wow, another swords. Everything about thought processes. Well, Tuesday might have a stifling form of energy just in our heads. We might be faced with issues that make us feel bound and stifled and unable to move forward. We might also feel that we are being dragged into a situation which will leave us helpless. But since it is the Eight of Swords, okay, it means that it is just primarily because of your thought process. It is not necessarily what is happening. So what you need to do is try to refresh your mind, okay? Try to separate yourself from those ideas or thoughts that make you feel weak, that make you doubt yourself. Instead, focus on thoughts and ideas that inspire you. If that involves talking to your friends and family and asking for advice, and they do give good advice and great motivation, then by all means do that. You have to snap out of that state wherein you linger in self-doubt, you linger in worries, you linger in unconstructive thought processes, because it's just in your head. It's not as bad as you see it. Find ways to get out of that state. It is just a frame of mind. You can easily get out of it if you want. The mere fact that you're lingering there is also a frame of mind. If you decide to get out of it, then you have changed your frame of mind and you are overcoming the tendencies of the Eight of Swords. So on Wednesday, we have here the Ten of Cups. Oh, Wednesday is a day of feeling emotionally fulfilled, happy with family. Perhaps if you have children, appreciate what you have in terms of love, affection, family ties, friendships, emotional fulfillment. It seems that you are being reminded to be grateful. If you really think about it, you have everything. We have everything. Things that make us feel happy, feel alive. It's just sometimes we are so busy to see them. We have been distracted by the routine of our daily life. So it is a good time for us to go back and appreciate the good things that we have with our family. And when we say appreciate, it's not just thinking about it and talking about it and doing nothing. How do you appreciate? Perhaps when you come from work, on your way home, bring a surprise, bring a cake, bring something nice. If you're married, if you have a wife, bring a bunch of flowers and some goodies for your children. If you live with your parents, maybe a cake or a takeout or anything that would help your parents. Also, if you're away from your family, giving them a ring if they're living elsewhere in the world. That is how you appreciate. You appreciate by action, okay? Not just by thought and words, but by deeds. So do that on Wednesday. On Thursday is the Knight of Cups. Wow, another cups. This is ideal for those of us who are thinking perhaps to start a relationship or even to propose. Okay, propose in bringing the relationship to the next level, Thursday would be a great time. If you cannot do it on Thursday, then it's a great time to plan. Plan for an engagement, plan for a proposal. The Knight of Cups is about the offer of love, the active energy of giving love. With the Knight of Cups also, just as a reminder, okay, because when we are quite emotional, it's okay to be spontaneous, but sometimes we can have a tendency to go overboard. Just as a reminder, just strike a balance. Do not go overboard like promising the moon and everything. But with the Knight of Cups, it says here, just present what it is that you are and what it is that you offer. Being true to yourself and being true to the person that you love is the best way to bring your offer of love. So just staying true with your hopes of spending a lot of happiness and a lot of good times with the other person. Friday, we have here the Five of Rods or the Five of Wands. This could actually be symbolizing or signifying your relationship with your colleagues. It depends on how you look at it, but if you're a positive person, you can see that the energy of the Five of Rods is there because it wants to bring out the best in you. There is competition, yes, but you shouldn't be afraid or succumb to the fear or the worries of competition. The competition around you is meant to bring out the best in you, and the competition around you is also meant to help you learn. Help you learn through all the exercise that you need to undergo. So with the Five of Rods or the Five of Wands on Friday, do not take it too personally, the competition around you. If there's some challenges or setbacks, learn from it. Or if you're working on your own, then you're also encouraged to try to understand your competition more, because in understanding them, you are empowered with this knowledge. So remember, the Five of Rods is not meant to discourage or make you feel afraid or make you doubt yourself. It is meant to encourage you to grow, to get out of your comfort zone. The exercise itself is meant to improve you, to bring out the best in you. Sometimes with the Five of Rods, once we see that there's competition, we act on impulse and we always see things in a bad light. Instead of saying, oh, that's normal, you know, it's nothing that I cannot handle. In fact, this is a good opportunity for me to learn. So that is how we need to approach the Five of Rods. And on Saturday, we have here the Knight of Swords. Okay, the Knight of Swords is a very strong, sharp energy, but an energy that cannot be sustained. Okay, it is quite a young energy. It still needs a lot of work. With the swords, it is always talking about decisions and thought processes. It could also be talking about a person who is quite sharp with his words because of his impetuousness. But if that is the energy on Saturday, then we are just advised to make sure that we should think before we speak. Because sometimes when we speak out of impulse and out of how we feel, we regret it. We regret saying things. So do not say things if they're not good at all. I remember my grandmother kept telling me, if you can't say anything nice, then just keep your mouth shut. So I think with the energy of the Knight of Swords, if you feel that's the case, then just better keep quiet. It is not time to open your mouth. Because if you will just be hurting and aggravating the situation, then you really need to consider that, right? But in saying so, because it is also the energy of the wind, if you're thinking to travel by air or planning to travel by air, Saturday is the best way to plan as well. If you're traveling for business, then you will have really good outcomes. However, since, as I said, this is quite immature and not sustainable, make sure that you work towards maintaining or sustaining those outcomes that you have for travel when it comes to business. It's a good, sharp, strong energy, but not sustainable. So it is up to us how to convert it into a better outcome. So let's just have a recap. On tomorrow, we have the Queen of Cups. It is all about love and affection, the giving of it, and also the giving it to ourselves, but at the same time taking advantage of that energy to express our concern or our love for everybody around us. The Ace of Swords is about decisions. Decisions that are sometimes harsh but needed. If you are in that situation, make sure you cut and cut clean, but only if you can see things in a very black and white situation. With the Ace of Swords, there are no gray areas. You need to know where you stand, okay? On Tuesday, we have here the Eight of Swords, which is basically telling you to get out of that mindset which is actually stifling yourself. It is just all in the mind. It's your thought process. Work on the thought process and you can get out of it. Then you can live up to your maximum potential. The only person that is limiting you is yourself. In other words, you can be your worst enemy. So get out of that mindset. Okay? And then on Wednesday, we have here the Ten of Cups, which is about expressing appreciation for the people that we love, because it is like the completion, the fulfillment, emotional fulfillment that we have. So it's not just by thoughts and words that we show our appreciation, but by deeds. So as I said, show them. That is the act of completing your affection and appreciating it by showing it. Okay, and on Thursday, we have here the Knight of Cups. Best energy if you want to propose or bring a relationship to the next level. That is fantastic. Or even starting a relationship. Offer of love. It's the best day. So consider that. And on Friday, we have here the Five of Rods, which is basically bringing out the best in you. It is not meant to make you feel insecure or doubt yourself, but it is meant for you to come up at the top, learn from your competition, and at the same time, by accepting that there will always be competition, you are sort of like encouraged to always be your best. So it is quite a positive energy if you are a positive person. And then on Saturday, the Knight of Swords, as I said, it is a strong, sharp energy, good for starting a project, good for starting conversations, but it also has a tendency to bring out, unpleasant words, because it's a sharp, immature energy. If you don't have anything nice to say, then just keep your mouth shut. But it's a good energy if you are going to fly to another place for business or to be with someone you love, then it's strong enough, but you need to do something to sustain that energy because it's quite young and immature. So that is the Tarot Weekly Focus for July 29 up to August 4, Saturday. So we have the letter from Bev of Quay. Hi Zamm, I'm planning to resign from my current work this August to find a new job. My question is, do I have a chance to find a good company or employer which they are giving good benefits and good salary? I am working here in Kuwait for almost 7 years already as a sales lady, and my husband is still back home. He's also planning to come here to Kuwait. Does he have a chance to come here also? Thanks, Bev. Those are 2 questions, but you're lucky, and since we have time, I'll answer both questions. Let me shuffle the cards for you. With regard to your first question about finding work and if you're able to find a better job by August, let's see what the cards can say. First here, it says the Page of Cups. I have here the Page of Cups. It means that perhaps what's happening now is you're losing love for your work. You're losing interest or enthusiasm for what you do. And you are trying to find that place so that you can continuously do what you do as a sales lady. But it also says here the Five of Cups. It means you have a good job, okay? And it is understandable to want to have a better job because we are human beings. We always need growth. We always need development. But the Five of Cups is asking you to first look at the good things that you have and not just look at the bad things that you're experiencing, meaning, is your job so bad that you cannot continue doing it? Is the pay so bad that's why you need to really look for another job? Or you're just really losing interest, and perhaps even you might be having some problems with the people that you work with. These are the questions that you need to ask yourself. With the Five of Cups, it's also telling you that nothing is perfect. Even if you move to another job, things will never be perfect. There will always be something that you will see later, most especially if you've been doing the job for a very long time. So what you're feeling is very normal. Try to see and encourage yourself to love what you're doing again. It says here with the Queen of Rods, if you really want to find work, okay, yes, August is the best time to try to find work. It is just right to find alternatives starting August without leaving your job. You're not asked to leave your job, but you're asked to be actively seeking other opportunities. And unless you are offered a new job, then the answer of the card is stay where you are and try to find love with what you do. If you succumb to the thought of really becoming very impatient with your job and you resign, I have here the Nine of Swords, which means that you are setting yourself up to a lot more worries, and it's not really worth it. And the Nine of Swords could really be very bad, mentally stressful. Don't leave your job yet, but yes, starting August, try to find other alternatives. Okay? But in the meantime, while you're at your job, appreciate what you have. Appreciate the blessings that you get from it. And if, for example, you feel overwhelmed by stress or anything, then find ways to release your stress. But you have to actively look for work while staying in your job starting in August. Now, let me answer the question with regard to your husband. He wants to come to Kuwait to join you, and you're asking if he's able to find work. I have good cards for your husband. Firstly, it says here, okay, I don't know what your husband does, but I have the Magician card. It says here, if your husband really focuses on his skills, then there is a very good opportunity for him. He will meet people who will be able to help him come to Kuwait. The Six of Pentacles are the people who are willing to help him. But in saying so, he is also asked to be very careful with the people he deals with. The Magician is both a positive and not so positive energy. If you use it wisely, it means that he needs to focus on his skills and experience so that he can come to Kuwait. But make sure he chooses the people he deals with, because if he deals with the wrong person, then a tendency for him to be manipulated, I don't know, maybe illegal recruitment or high placement fees, those things might occur. But with the Six of Pentacles, if he highlights his skills and is very careful in his association of people, then he will find good people who will actually help him go to Kuwait. And I also have here the Hierophant. Remember, if he focuses on his skills and he meets people who are willing to help him, he has a really good chance to work for a company that already exists for a long time, which is being represented by the Hierophant. So he will be able to find work in an institution that has many branches elsewhere in the world or has been in existence in Kuwait for a very long time already. So that is a very, very good energy and tendency. And also, it also says here, if he applies, or as I said, he highlights his skills, be careful with the people he associates with, chooses his associations wisely. It says here, when he comes to Kuwait, it is not difficult for him to find work. The Page of Rods is a beginning. It is an opportunity that exists, but he needs to work at it. So I hope you like that news. But do not lose hope. As I said, start finding other alternatives in August, and I'm sure you will know when the right time comes. But do not leave your job, and try to just keep in touch, with distressing, meaning make sure that you distress when you feel stress at work, and try to find love in what you do and appreciation for what you get from your current work. And with your husband, be careful with his associations, highlight his skills. He will meet people who will help him come to Kuwait. He will be able to find work in a good company, and he will be able to start work as soon as possible. So very good energies for your husband. I hope that helped, and many blessings to you. Just as a reminder, I have created a group, the Tarot Wellington Meetup group, and we are scheduled to have our first meetup August 11, Saturday, 2 to 3 p.m. at the Wellington Central Library, 65 Victoria Street. Okay, the admission is free, so there is no cost for this meetup, but we have limited invites available, only 27 left. So RSVP only, please register. I'll give you the link to the meetup website so that you can register there. Okay, just to give you more idea, the first meetup is very informal. It's just getting to know other kindred spirits who want to learn more about the tarot and find out how it could help them in their pursuits of success in life. And besides getting to know each other, it's also a time that we're going to spend trying to figure out how we can proceed with the group based on each other's interests, topics that we need to cover, lessons that you want to learn from the tarot, and other topics of spirituality and metaphysics. Of course, we will have fun along the way. It's not all serious things, but the important thing is having fun through our journey together with the tarot. So register, and I will see you in August 11. Okay, and now we go to the affirmation of the week. Okay, the affirmation of the week comes from Steve Jobs. He says, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary." Believe ourselves, have faith in ourselves, believe our vision, believe our dreams. It doesn't mean that because a lot of people are doing things the same way and it works for them, you will be doing the same thing. If you do that, but you feel that there is something else that's calling you, then you are taking away that wonderful opportunity to be different and be more adventurous in discovering new things that could actually help people or others in a most significant way, just like what Steve did with Apple. And remember, he said intuition. Intuition is that small voice that always keeps talking to you, but you always keep ignoring. You wouldn't have this small voice or intuition if it's not really helpful. And each of us, I always believe that each of us has intuition. The only thing is we're too distracted, we're too drowned out by the noises around us that we have silenced it or have become deaf to our own intuition. So if you're in Wellington, join the Tarot Meetup. And we will also discuss how to heighten your intuition. Try to always do things to heighten your intuition. Be mindful of the things around you. If you believe in signs, then that is how your intuition works. So do that. Also try to meditate, to always be in touch with your higher self. Believe in yourself. Do what you think is best, no matter what other people say. That is the most important thing. And there's also a saying, it doesn't matter what other people say about you or how they see you. The important thing is how you see yourself, how you believe yourself. So let me just read that out again. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. So that's about it for this week. This is the third webcast, but we're still figuring out how to deliver the Tarot Zamm show, and we will be tweaking this continuously. I welcome your feedback. Just email me and or leave me a message in my Facebook or Twitter, and we'll work towards your ideas with regard to the Tarot Zamm show. Don't forget the Tarot Weekly Focus. I hope you use those energies and tendencies, and also try to imbibe the affirmation for the week coming from Steve Jobs, and see how it goes. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and I'll see you again next week. Many blessings to you all.